Over the next few hours, it's possible that we'll see Milton's top winds come down somewhat, but it is still expected to be a very strong hurricane when it makes landfall overnight. We are going to see this storm likely grow in size, and that is not good news for Florida. I was speaking with the deputy director of the U.S. National Hurricane Center earlier today, Jamie Rome, who said that the larger the storm, that's going to translate to more surge, more water being pushed over land and inundating coastal communities. This is likely to be the most storm surge that Western Floridians have seen in their lifetime, just partly why there's so much urgency around the evacuation orders.
How does the evacuation look? I mean, typically there are people who say, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to tough it out. This is my home. But when a storm surge can engulf, a two-story house, that seems really like a really bad decision. So have we seen most of the people in Tampa, for example, leave? It's a huge metropolitan area.
Yeah, the population of the Tampa region's a little over 3 million people. We're being told that the Hurricane Center is trying to issue really tailored warnings about where the surge is expected to be the worst, which enables emergency managers to issue more tailored evacuation warnings. So they're hoping it translates to a more orderly evacuation without people getting stuck on the roads, and hopefully that folks will heed the warnings that they're issuing. I think at this point, it's just a matter of paying really close attention to the messages that you're getting from public safety officials. I think that with the hours ticking down until the storms arrive, likely we'll be seeing anybody who's chosen to stay behind shelter in place. We know that there are lots of shelters open in the Tampa region, and emergency managers have also urged people, if they are going to stay in the area, to at least come to those shelters. Then if they have a medical emergency or need any kind of assistance, there's a better chance that they'll be able to get that help rather than wait for roads to be cleared after the storm passes.
Right, Lauren. And to that point, we actually heard from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis earlier, who said that total shelter capacity, or occupancy rather, statewide was at about 31,000. The total capacity is for 200,000. So, of course, Ron DeSantis urging people to go to that shelters if they haven't already evacuated. But I want to talk a little bit about the geography of Tampa. My understanding is that it's on a continental shelf of sorts. Talk us through that dynamic and how that's going to interact with the hurricane.
Yeah, by contrast, the east coast of Florida, really, really deep water, almost immediately offshore. So I was talking with someone earlier today, said, I'm a fisherman. I can, take my boat 5 minutes. I'm in the jet stream, right? If I'm on the west coast of Florida, by contrast, he said, I'm sailing for 2 hours to try to get to that deep water. That shallow water is really easy for a storm to pick up and push onto land. It does not need to be that strong. And larger storms, which is what we're expecting Milton to evolve into over the next few hours, can push more water ashore. So that's why the risk from this storm in particular is so high. And we're going to see some really stunning and likely record-breaking storm surge figures roll in for Western Florida.
Lauren, one of the things I've been wondering the past couple of days is, how has Tampa avoided a direct hit for the last 100 years? I mean, the conditions seem bad, and yet we haven't had this kind of storm for Tampa.
Yeah, it's something that we've been talking a lot about and doing more reporting on here. This is a relatively unusual storm track. There's going to be a lot of research, I think a lot of science coming, over the next few years about exactly how this happened, because Milton is not the first storm to have an impact on Tampa. Hurricane Debbie, earlier in the summer. Hurricane Helene didn't notch a direct hit, but it still sent 8 feet of water into Tampa. We know that Milton is going to pass much closer. That there has been concern about Milton making landfall in Tampa. So that's why we're expecting to see so much more water. But yeah, as far as how Tampa got so lucky for so long and why that luck has come to an end, there's going to be a lot of research into that.